Whatever happened to Carly Rae Jepsen, the girl who became a viral musical sensation overnight 11 years ago, who sang this song which has over 1.5 million views?
Carly Rae Jepsen has all the trappings to be an established main pop girl, and a lot of this continued success rode on her release following the fame of her hit single Call Me Maybe.
How are you gonna follow up with Call Me Maybe? I was like, I don't know, how am I gonna follow up? But I remember kind of taking a walk and deciding that I wasn't gonna come home until I'd really shooken off that feeling, because it ultimately was sort of my first real opportunity to finally live out my dream, which was a worldwide release of some music, and I didn't want to let pressure or anything get in the way of that.
Once in a while, someone releases the perfect pop song. Not just a catchy one, but one that defines an entire year, dominates every playlist, and somehow manages to unite the internet for about 3 minutes of pure serotonin. For most people, that song was Call Me Maybe. It was catchy, simple, and instantly recognizable. You could hear it once and still have it stuck in your head the next 10 years. But behind this song's success is a much more complicated story. One about what happens after perfection. Because Carly Rae Jepsen didn't just make the perfect pop song, she made one so perfect that it almost destroyed her career.
I would argue that Call Me Maybe was a monolith of a pop song, with an amazing catchy pop melody, too good, too saccharine, that it became bigger than Carly Rae Jepsen herself.
So today we're talking about the one and only Carly Rae Jepsen, the artist who mastered the science of pop only to realize perfection might actually be a curse. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let's go back to 2012. The Hunger Games was in theaters, everyone was wearing neon for some reason, and TikTok didn't exist yet, which meant people actually had to learn entire dances for YouTube. And right in the middle of that chaos was a 26-year-old Canadian singer named Carly Rae Jepsen. Before Call Me Maybe, she wasn't famous, at least not outside of Canada.
I think you're an absolute bona fide total star.
Released a small indie album and was quietly working on music that blended folk with light pop. Carly wrote Call Me Maybe with 2 other musicians, and originally it wasn't meant to be a big hit, it was just a fun little track for Canadian radio.
My guitarist and I were working on while we were on the road together, and we brought it with us to our friend Josh Ramsey, and the 3 of us kind of collaborated and made sort of a folky pop song.
But then Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez posted a video lip-syncing to the song, and of course it went viral. The song just exploded overnight. Suddenly, it was #1 in over 20 countries, streamed hundreds of millions of times, and played at every school dance, wedding. However, with that success came something else, a new label. People didn't see Carly Rae Jepsen, the artist, they saw Carly Rae Jepsen, the Call Me Maybe girl, and that's when the curse began. The funny thing about having a song that's too successful is that it becomes bigger than the actual artist. Carly's entire image got frozen in time, this cheerful, flirty, girl next door pop star who makes music for teen movies, and when she tried to move past that image, people just weren't interested. Her next singles like This Kiss, Good Time, and Tonight I'm Getting Over You, all had the same polished production, catchy hooks, and fun lyrics. They were great pop songs, but the world had already decided who she was.
You see, even though Call Me Maybe was Carly Rae Jepsen's big splash into popular media, especially in the US, the virality of that song also diminished expectations for what she would produce in the future.
So basically, Carly wasn't an artist to follow, she was a meme to remember. And when she released her next album, Kiss, it didn't do nearly as well as everyone expected. Critics called it too bubblegum, the sales dropped, and Carly quietly faded from mainstream radio. But what nobody realized at the time was that Carly wasn't done. She was just getting started, and her next move would completely redefine who she was. In 2015, Carly Rae Jepsen came back, and this time she wasn't chasing a hit, she was chasing art.
I think having a hit is a gift. I was not expecting for Call Me Maybe to take off in the way that it did. There is also that moment afterwards where you feel kind of frozen, as in, what do I do next? Because there's this expectation of, oh, well, can you deliver that exact thing again? And I didn't want to.
Her album Emotion is one of my favorite albums. It was the opposite of what the pop industry wanted at the time. The early 2010s were dominated by EDM drops and trap beats, but Carly went full 1980s. We're talking about synths, saxophones, glitter, and heartbreak. And she didn't just dabble in nostalgia, she perfected it. Songs like Runaway With Me, and Your Type, weren't just catchy, they were cinematic. They made you feel like you were starring in your own indie rom-com. Critics loved it, Pitchfork actually called it pop perfection, NPR called it a pop savior, and on the internet something magical happened. Carly became a cult icon. Her concerts weren't massive arenas anymore, but the people who showed up, they knew every lyric. She wasn't cool because she was famous, she was cool because she was good. Carly Rae went from one-hit wonder to indie pop legend. But that transformation came with a cost, because while Emotion was loved by critics, it didn't really sell much. It didn't hit #1, there was no viral moment. She had finally made the perfect pop album, but this time the world wasn't listening. After Emotion, Carly didn't slow down. She kept writing hundreds of songs per project. By her own count, over 200 for Emotion.
I am kind of classically known by my team as an overwriter. So if I need to have an album of, say, 12 or 15, I will generally have 200 songs that I've written that could be presented.
And even more for her next albums, Dedicated and The Loneliest Time. See, the music industry had changed. Pop was no longer about timeless melodies, it was about algorithms. Shorter songs, catchy snippets, 15 seconds of audio that could go viral on TikTok. Her songs are full of emotional build-ups, key changes, and long instrumental bridges, the exact thing the modern industry sees as bad for streaming. And luckily, Carly was too genuine to rebrand herself for clicks. In another timeline, she could have leaned into controversy or a TikTok aesthetic, but Carly Rae isn't that kind of artist. She's the kind who still believes in albums, not just singles. But it's also why she will never be the kind of mainstream pop star she used to be. Because Carly doesn't make content, she makes actual music. And unfortunately, in 2025, that's a risky career move. If you look at Carly Rae Jepsen's career purely through charts, it might seem like she peaked in 2012. Artists like Troye Sivan, Kim Petras, Muna, and Chaperone all cite her as inspiration. She helped normalize the idea that pop could be intimate, that you could make music about joy and heartbreak without trying to dominate the radio.
I really like the initial spark. Coming from not any technical side, not sort of thinking about a title or a concept, but just sort of if a word triggers you, you follow that feeling.
Her fans treat her albums like treasure maps. Every B-side, every demo, every unreleased track matters. So while she might never top Call Me Maybe, she did something arguably more important. She outlived it, because at the end of the day, perfection doesn't mean popularity. Sometimes perfection means peace. That's all I've got for you guys today. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one. But now I want to know, what do you think? Was Carly Rae Jepsen really cursed by her own perfection? Or did she just rewrite what pop success looks like in the 2020s? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know as well. And with that being said, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon.